good, everybody? Donnie B got the beats here at Two Flew West, along with my brother here, Nicholas Baker.
What's happening?
And our next guest, Rick DBNR, extraordinaire. he's a recording artist, talented recording artist, musician. The dude models too. He's been doing it. You know what I'm saying? Represent back home in the DMV as well.
Yes, we flew west one more time.
Again, man.
You know, it's how we do. Better than the rest of them.
So, Rick, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Hold on, let me fix my headphones, man. Whole situation got jacked up. Hold on, man.
Gotta have it right. Photo ops, gotta have it right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm out here trying to make last minute adjustments in a second. I'm trying to make a minute adjustment in a second. That ain't how it's supposed to be. Oh yeah, man, praise God, man. But I am smooth, man. I'm copacetic, you know what I'm saying? Just doing what I got to do, man. How about y'all? What's up? It's been a long time since I seen y'all, man. How y'all doing?
Long time. Oh, we good.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we flew west. So, you know, it was
came
a
long way from, Best Buy and freaking, Bowie, Maryland. We came a long way. A couple thousand miles, man.
I haven't seen Bowie, Maryland in a good little bit now.
Yeah, man. Heard it.
It's crazy. I was just back there for Christmas. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's to the boulevard. It's not the boulevard. That don't look like a whole I
know they supposed to
be. Yeah, it's
the hospital now.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
I remember when they started the plans for that, John. But I'm like, I wasn't expecting not to go up there and see a bunch of people standing on the side where you try and go in the last stop and you know what I'm saying, what's the other shoe store. You can't even go in there no more, man. I'm like, dang, it's different.
Like whole different.
Yeah, things change.
There's a whole hospital though. Like that's the thing. But whatever.
The whole Joe hospital.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what's crazy about it. It's not like there's a hospital on site. It was like
right. It's the whole thing. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look at Merle. She said nope. So I guess she said nope. It's not there anymore. That's love you, Merle.
What you say nope to?
That's what I'm saying. It was very big, but hey.
I don't know, but I'm gonna just say that was hard. A little jump popped up in the middle of the comment. You know what I'm saying? We were just talking. Then next thing you know, the Facebook jump was like, "Yeah, man, it's right here." It just came out. I wasn't expecting that. So that's hard, man. Congratulations to y'all for being professional. You know.
Yeah. Hey, so Rick, we know you. You know what I mean? We got a lot of history together. As far as knowing you and how you run and do your thing. Could you tell us a little bit more about yourself, the listeners and people that are watching the show, a little bit more about yourself and what it is that you do?
Well, my name's Rick. You know what I'm saying? I am an artist. I am first and foremost, I am like a firm believer in God. None of the stuff that's after what I'm about to say after that would be possible without God. So with God, I am able to be an artist, singer, rapper, producer. I dabbled in modeling for a little bit. Moving to California, it's like you find out that all of the gifts that you have, it's like, okay, now we're gonna try to see what they're hitting on, because you get out here and you recognize that you gotta make some money, and it's hard. The price of living coming from Maryland to California, you gotta make ends meet. So now I'm out here trying to do voice acting. I'm trying to act, you know what I'm saying? Like I even do a drama, Vigado, you know what I'm saying? All of that, I'll be on anything, but it's just, I am a creative, like I was created, so I am a creative,
Dope.
Okay. That was that question. How'd you get in the field?
How I got in the field?
Yeah.
So I guess with music, I started playing drums, when I was younger. I remember my mom, we used to live in DC, Southwest, Southwest DC is listening, Southwest, that's, Prairie guy. But my mom, I would be in the middle of the floor in the kitchen, and she would just hand me sticks like spoons, and I'd just be beating on pots and pans in the kitchen. And I think when I was like 8, I started playing my first church band. So from 8 till now, I'm 27, and I've been doing music like on and off ever since. I took it seriously when I moved to California about 3 years ago. So I moved in 2018, and all July, August is different, but July, I moved out here, and then I started modeling. Like I said, I was doing music on and off that whole time, but modeling was one of those things I picked up in between the off time of me doing music, if that makes sense. So I got into modeling, and then rapping I started doing when I was 13 at church as well. So yeah, just a bunch of everything started in church, you know.
Nothing wrong with that. Hey, look, I want to talk a little bit more. I've heard you talk about it previously, like I think on a post, but tell us a little bit more about why you moved to Cali or why you flew west. What was that journey for you?
Okay. Yeah, this the good the meat and potatoes. Okay, I'm gonna get straight to it within 30 seconds of the interview. Okay, that's what we're doing. So, long story short, I had started coming out here from the DMV to go to the BET Awards. Right, I was afforded opportunities to go to the BET Awards, and I started popping up, and I got out here one day, and I just was like, God, I really see myself out here. Like, whatever I got to do to get out here, I'll do it, and I kind of just was asking God to, provide a way. I was like, in order for me to get out here, I know I'm gonna need some like accountability, right? Because I could get out here and be wild, right? I could just start lunching, messing with all of the ladies and the women and the drugs and get caught up, because it's easy to get caught up out here, especially coming out here with no knowledge and no background on like who you're really dealing with, because Hollywood syndrome is real. Like, people say, no, I'm gonna help you with this, and then you mess around in the hills at a party and you want some type of drugs, all crazy. That's not it. So I said, God, I need some accountability. And I went back home after that. I think that was like the first or second year. 5 years go by, and that's when God provides a way for me to get out here. I was working a job. I was working a good government job, which everybody back home knows what a government job means. It means security, right? You have stability and you could provide for yourself. I got out of work that day, and I was actually on break. I went to my car, and I got an email from another job that was based in California, and they said, "Hey, we found your resume somewhere." I was like, "You don't just find a resume somewhere. You had to do some research." They was like, "No, we just pulled up on the site and your resume popped up. You meet all the qualifications." I was like, "Hold up, man, is this legit? Y'all gonna have to call me. You know what I'm saying? What's y'all phone number? Let me tap in with y'all, hear y'all voice, because this sound like a bunch of cap. Like, let me talk to y'all." And lo and behold, I get on the phone and they say, "Yeah, we want to offer you the position. It's in El Segundo," and boom, you good. I was like, "Oh, okay." They wanted to offer me the position based off of my phone interview because I interviewed so well. And I was like, I never met y'all. I come out here on vacation and I meet up with them. They was like, "You could start that Monday." Keep in mind, I did not tell my job that I was still working at. I was on vacation in Maryland. I still work that job. I haven't even told my job. And the job out here in El Segundo told me that I could start working before I go back home. I said, I don't even have anywhere to live yet. So again, I had to go to God and seek, how to get here and stay here, right? Because I wasn't trying to be home to Skid Row real. I was like, I'm good on that. And God provided a place for me to stay. It wasn't exactly where I wanted to be, but it was still an option. And it checked off all the boxes as far as like provision. I got accountability out here now. And yeah, I just been living in faith ever since I got out here,
Yeah, well, you're a good brother, man. Like, you put in a lot of work. You know what I mean? And I think that's just the universe giving you back, some of what you do.
Yeah, man. God provided, man. He definitely provided.
Yeah. I don't know. I always respected you because I think it's like a true testament to like stepping out on faith.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? Because it's not hard to make that jump, to come out here to, you know, maybe not have the support you have at home, and really, you know, go after what you see yourself doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always think that story, and you know how you talk about coming out here, is pretty significant, because I know there's plenty of people who talk about it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Who are in their head like, okay, I'm gonna make that move. I'm gonna make that move. And then like you said, like 5, 10, 15 years go by. Next thing you know, you're like, yeah, you know, I always talked about going out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you never make it. So like definitely props to you for like going after it and not, you know, not letting the other things hold you back. Also, really admire how you speak. Like you always have stayed, like since I've known you, stayed like true to faith, like true to God, like always speaking on God, but also never like in a way that, you know, people can feel uncomfortable with religion, right?
Right.
And sometimes you have people who are like, who can preach it so strong that it can turn people off of it, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I feel like you've always talked about your journey in a way that is very like humbling, is very approachable. You know what I'm saying? Like really just I don't know how to totally explain it, but it's just I think you're approachable and you can help people like, you know, on a path if they're not on any path, if they're struggling with like, you know, their journey or their relationship with God or like where they want to be.
Right.
I feel like you're approachable, right? Like you're somebody they could come to and have a conversation. And it's non-judgmental. That's a big one too. Like people a lot of times feel judged. Like, well, you know, my life ain't necessarily in the totally right where I need to be. I may do this too much or that too much, but you know, everybody's on their own journey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciate it and commend you on how you kind of walk your own path and are very like vocal about it too. Like on posts, on the internet, like social media, I definitely see you talking about it, and you never put yourself over anyone on the path that you're on. So definitely commend you on that.
I mean, that's God, man. And I think the key to what you said, man, I think the two things that like the world struggles with is like religion and politics. Those are always going to be two topics that people are easily offended towards, right? So there's always a way for an argument to break out in that. But I think what separates the people that really walk with God is like relationship. So because I have relationship with God, somebody could walk up to me and over time build a rapport, build a relationship, right? And we could just have dialogue about who God is, right? So yeah, I mean, it's just about just staying humble, man, being approachable, like you were saying, like, and that ain't me. Listen, I don't like talking to people. I'm not, listen, if I had it my way, I would not be talking to nobody, right? But God made me a people person, right? And he placed those attributes that people will be drawn to me so we can have the conversation about who God is. Or we don't even always have to talk about God, you know what I'm saying? Because there's beauty in everything and God is in everything. So just by talking about how good the day is, that's still talking about God. So
Amen to that. Listen, not to cut you guys off, but we actually have another guest. She's in the green room right now. I just wanted to bring her into the, to the round table, to the conversation real quick. So here we go. Pull up.
What's going on?
Devin.
Whitney, what's good? How are you?
Good. Long time no see.
I know, right? I know. So, I mean, you jumped in. We kind of been talking and chatting it up already. We've given Rick a chance to introduce himself. So,
yay!
You get to hop right in and tell us who you are, what you do. Tell us more about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Whitney. I'm a photographer. Honestly, I'm an artist. I'm not really like limited to just photography. I've been doing this for like on and off for like 6-7 years now, but this is like my first year like having an actual like LLC with it. I started my own business back in August. It's called Oja. I don't know for like dropping like all of our like websites and stuff like that, but I can talk about that later. But yeah, I'm just like a super pro Black artist. Also, like natural hair enthusiast.
Praise God.
The world needs plenty of them, you know.
Boy, them waves, don't even try.
No, them ain't waves.
I ain't been with you in a while, you
Them
know.
potholes, I see them potholes.
Yeah, I'll go. Yes, she fired me already. Hey, she came on and fried me 2 minutes in.
Nothing's
not
changed.
waves,
Nothing's changed.
potholes. She said you got potholes. I'm taking that. Hey, they natural potholes though. That's what I'm going.
He said they natural.
That means they're God's potholes.
I'm embrace my potholes, man.
Hey, listen, I love your tagline, minding my own black business. Like,
Yes.
I love the tagline.
That's pretty much what I stay doing, is just minding my black-owned business. I'm not very much into social media. I don't mind it, but I mean, I jump in where necessary, but I keep it quiet when I'm out, not on social media. I'm working very hard to build, because I'm starting this from scratch, honestly. So I'm working very hard to build, but also building very carefully, because I feel like as entrepreneurs, people dive into what they see other people doing, and that's not really innovative at all. So like, if you can reshape how business is done, it's going to influence how the economy functions, how everything functions. Like, if you dream a lot bigger. So yeah, I'm just minding my black-owned business. Minding my black-ass business today.
I'm going to ask you one more question on it, and then I want to talk about a dynamic for the both of you. But you stay on the move, or you make it seem like you stay on the move. I swear, every picture I see, you are like in a different country or like somewhere else. It becomes a "Where's Whitney today" type of thing. Like,
oh my God.
Tell us more a little bit about your travels. I guess, probably pre-COVID, but
I did not mean to establish an accidental reputation, because you're like probably the 100th person they say that to me. Like, it feels like you're just never in one place, and I'm like, I feel like I am. I feel like I'm always in one place too long. But that's probably why I'm always on the move, because like pre-COVID, well, further backstory, like way before COVID, I think it was 2015. Yeah, 2015, because it's been like just under 6 years now. I donated a kidney to my dad. So I'm a living donor. Awesome. And from that, of course, it's like, you see someone experience like a near-death experience. And then, of course, for you, it's like, I kind of feel like a whole new person. So I was just like, you know what, let me start conquering some fears, because like a major surgery is very scary. And photography really helps me with that, because I don't have like a lot of phobias, but the things that I am afraid of are things that I feel like limit me as an artist. So for example, like heights or like certain animals or stuff, it's like, let me just go face these fears. I'm terrified of heights and flying. So naturally traveling will help you get over that very quickly. Although I do say a lot of prayers on flights. I'm proud to say that even though I'm terrified of flying, I've only cried on one flight out of the like 30 that I've been on.
Okay.
I'm gonna pat myself on the back.
Baby steps,
Yes. So instead of baby steps, I swan dived headfirst into traveling, because the first place I went to, like I've been to California, I've been on like the 6-hour flights and stuff like that, like once or twice, and that was okay. Even those freaked me out, but to like really like break the fear, the first place I went to internationally was South Korea, and that was a 15-hour flight.
That's how you Spartan? Gee.
Yeah, you got time to be scared, get over it, get scared again.
And that happened. How did you know? That's the exact pattern that happened. I freaked out because my seat was like kind of near the engine in the back, like the turbine. So as soon as I started the plane, I was like, and the next thing I know, we're in the air for like about 13 hours. We landed in China, and I was like completely like out of it. I was like, I don't know what time it is, what day it is. And so it was like double the fear factor of like, culture shock and getting over like a random phobia. But yeah, ever since South Korea, I've just been like travel bug. Like I gotta keep going. I was supposed to go to Cape Verde. I'm Cape Verdean, by the way. So I'm pro-Black and like special. Like I always like to give a shout out to all the Criollas. I always wear a little Criolla necklace and stuff like that. Because no one knows where Cape Verde does. Raise your hand right quick if you know where Cape Verde is.
I know what kind of where it is.
Proud of you. Shameful.
Tell us more.
I was going to say, I'm not,
About the whole
it's on the west coast of Africa. It's like a cluster of islands off the west coast of Africa. We're basically like, we're mixed Africans because it's like a mixture of Portuguese, Senegalese, Ghanaian, whatever slaves they brought over that were basically like our islands were the pit stop. So we're like Portuguese and whatever they brought over at the time. We were Brazilians before Brazilians showed up, just saying. We're the OG Brazilians.
Yeah, that's some.
That's the easiest way to describe it.
Yeah, it's a ton of them that are celebrities like the women.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know, that certain celebrities are Cape Verdean, but whenever I see them, like, oh yay, finally we're getting some recognition.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was supposed to go to Cape Verde last March for my birthday, but COVID completely halted that. I have the flight voucher to go again this year, but I don't think I'm gonna do it because has anyone traveled during COVID? I don't know.
I did.
How was it?
He went to Cape Verde.
And I came back.
And I lived.
I went to DC.
Okay.
It was okay. I mean, it was. I was just buttoned up. I had layer upon layer upon layer. You know what I mean?
I don't trust airports. The flight itself doesn't freak me out, but it's the airports I don't trust. Like they were already nasty, so I don't trust people to like actually leave me alone and like distance. I'm a weirdo magnet too, so I feel like if there's anyone who would be coughing near me or doing the most, like that would absolutely happen.
I will say this: I know you're on this place of like conquering your fears, but for me, don't go to the airport. You know,
oh no.
Leap. I got to do it big, so I can go with no mask and just be like, "Hey, everybody! I don't want you like
no mask, just taking really big, heavy in."
Yeah, let that fear stick. Let that fear stick.
He said, "Let it stay."
Oh no, I'm still definitely afraid. Like I don't think I'm going to be on a plane for like another like 7 months at minimum because I don't really think anyone should be traveling right now unless it's like an emergency, but everyone has their own reasons. So like I try not to judge. I also try not to like, it's mostly just the airports because it's personal, you know, but if you're just traveling, it also depends on where you're going.
Donnie said you travel, so she's judging you on the low.
No, I'm not judging you. I'm just like, if you're going to DC, I'm assuming it's for like business, but there's also stuff to do. Like I had a friend who was trying to go to, she's trying to come from like a DMV area and she was going to go to Alabama for Thanksgiving. I'm like, I wouldn't go there without COVID. Like, what the fuck is that?
That was good. I like that.
You're going to risk your life in a panty or in a panoramic and Alabama, what?
Hey, listen, I know some people from Alabama, and Alabama can be everything for some people. So you know that might be the move.
From Puerto Rico, what is anywhere in the States have for her that can compare? You know, I'm like, girl, you came from paradise. You just want to see some slums.
Okay.
All right. So,
yeah. So we can,
Whitney, before you came on, we were kind of talking to Rick about like his journey and how he moved from the DMV to the West Coast. Like us three all did, but
cool.
He also talked about he's a musician as well as he's done some modeling as well. Okay. So with the photographer and the model on the call, we wanted to kind of talk about the dynamic between a photographer and like a model, and how I was thinking about it with that question, and this is for both of you, just like, you know, how important is that dynamic to like have like either good chemistry or a good dynamic? And I think it might be another question, but I'm gonna tie them both together. Have you ever been in a situation where it was just all bad? Like as the photographer, the model was like, oh no, or as the model, the photographer was like, oh no. Any of y'all can go first.
I'll let you go first.
No, ladies first, man.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Well, I think it's like top tier of importance for model and photographer to have like some sort of bondable chemistry, because being in front of the camera is a very vulnerable experience. And if the photographer can't capture that vulnerability or at least like, evoke it from you, then like the shoot is done. The entire launch is scrubbed. Like, because I don't work with too many models specifically for that reason, because it's just too risky with people. I don't have the patience for people. I'm a people person, but my patience is like a completely different, like when someone tests my patience, I'm like, if you show up late, like models can be very unprofessional if they're not like, if they haven't been doing it for a while. Like I know a couple of people who have been doing it for a while, and I love working with them. I can work with them numerous times and it's fine. And the professionalism portion of it just adds to the chemistry. But I've met some people who think that because they labeled themselves a model or because they did like 2 or 3 shoots that all of a sudden they're hot shit, and that I am supposed to cater to their needs, that they can show up whenever they want. They can blast whatever music they want. They can just, joke on set kind of things. I'm like, no, I run a very tight ship. Like, I'm here to get a very specific thing. I'm here to get a very specific mood and like look. So like, get it together. And I don't really have the patience to work with people who can't be professional. And sometimes people like, I'm very empathetic. So if people have something going on, because some people like, they'll just show up very like stone faced and they'll have no emotions towards you. Like if they're very like cold towards you, they're not looking to connect with anyone around them. It's just like, it makes it awkward. Cause no matter what, like whatever shoot I'm doing, I like to have fun. Even like I've had people show up to me and say like, I've had a client before, like she showed up 3 hours late to her shoot with zero communication as to why. And she's lucky I didn't leave. I was just patient. And I asked her what was going on when she got there, and she was saying like she struggles with anxiety. She was having an anxiety check prior to, and I'm like, well, I'm glad I waited around because I also have anxiety. So maybe we can talk about this and we can flip a negative into a positive. Mm-hmm. Some people, they don't, and it's fine if people don't want to open up. Like no one's obligated to open up, but it's like if you just show up and expect people to like work around your stank ass attitude, like you should have left it in the car, honestly. Like, leave your attitude in the car. I don't have patience for it. Yes, like, grab your mask, leave the attitude. We're good to go. But yeah, I don't have like too many nightmare stories because I've selected to like, when I started like my LLC, I was like, I'm gonna elect to not work with too many models. So I think like I don't really have like any, I don't want to put anyone on blast. I don't really have like any nightmare stories, like nothing that no one's been through before, like where it's just like people showing up late. I don't have like, I can't think of a specific instance right now where I'm like that person. Like,
yeah, you don't got to put no names out there. We ain't gonna put nobody on blast.
Because I'm the type of dude, I'll be like, yeah, don't work with this person. They're garbage.
Right.
But let's see what the model has to say.
Yes, Rick, what you got?
I mean, I think it's just important to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are instances where me as a model, I'm hiring a photographer for their eye. So I will come to them and say, I have this idea, but it's not all the way fleshed out. But I hired you to complete the vision, right? So it's important for communication to be had more than one time before the actual shoot occurs, right? I can't walk up, if a photographer hires me, right, and I come in there and I'm just standing there like, all right, I'm gonna just stand right here the whole time. They're gonna be mad. They're gonna be blown, right? Mm-hmm. That's how I feel if I hire a photographer for their eye and their creative juice is not flowing when I hired you, when the shoot is happening. You know what I'm saying? So I think communication in all aspects of life is very important, but this one specifically is important for that reason.
It's a very collaborative experience. Yeah,
for sure. Absolutely. And I mean, as far as like the mood thing you was talking about, like it just depends on what's the dynamic, right? Mm-hmm. If I come to you and say, hey, I want to shoot with you, I'm paying you, right? I'm gonna blast whatever music I feel like blasting because I'm paying you, right?
Right.
But then if it's the other way around, you know what I'm saying? I gotta like kind of accept what it is you feeling, right? If you hired me, you know what I'm saying? You gotta pretty much I'm welcoming you into my world and vice versa. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, I think the communication is key, because if it's like, so what I'm saying basically is like, if I honestly, like, regardless of who hired who, if it's like, like what you're saying, the communication just wasn't there from the jump, like, especially if you only communicated once, there's going to be a lot of confusion as to like what the vibe is going into the shoot. And it just ruins everything, honestly. Like you're going to end up with some shots that you might like, but you probably won't love them. And honestly, like I can say, like, if I don't love them, I probably won't like share them. Or if I'm sharing them, it's kind of like out of obligation. Like it'll be like one of those like a filler post kind of things. And it's like, yeah, the vibe just wouldn't be there at all. But I'm also like, I don't know how it is for models, but I'm one of those people, like I give people numerous chances because I always like to assume like someone's probably going through something, they just did not express it. Absolutely. But if you're hiring me, I'm going to do my all, of course, to be my most professional. But if I'm hiring you, like that's why it's like hard to work with models for me, because I'm like, if I'm hiring you, like, you know, I do expect people to be at their most professional, like no matter who's hired, if you're the makeup artist, the model, the photographer, like everyone has to work as a team.
Right. For sure. I agree with that.
It's funny. I can make a lot of contrast to the conversation that you both are talking about, like to music as well. When it comes to like a studio and an artist, it's kind of that same communication. You know, you can go to a studio and the studio can be well known. It can have like great reviews, and you can go in there and have a shitty experience. You know what I mean? Because either the mix don't feel right, or the way it's set up didn't feel right, or you like a quiet like environment and they got everybody and their mother in there like doing whatever, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's very similar to where you need to have that communication and understanding of who's working with who. And then I think as an artist, and hearing from you both, like either side of it, as a model or a photographer, you also have to know when it's like, this probably ain't gonna work. Like, yeah, we probably shouldn't. This probably ain't a fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think people don't do their homework sometimes like that, and they just go in, and then you're upset with the product.
Right.
I mean, not to say that, you know, I don't know. Bad chemistry sometimes can still come out with a good product. Sometimes rare, but it can still happen. But I think it's not, you know, advised, I would say.
I think for like the photographer or the model, like someone else from the outside looking in, even if like it does like rarely come out good, for everyone else like on the outside looking in, they'll be like, oh, this is amazing. But for them, they'll always have that bad energy attached to it. So we're like, this looks terrible.
Yeah.
You're gonna have the memories attached to like, I hate this photo because I know what I had to go through to get to this photo.
Yeah.
Like the experience is everything.
I also think it's important for you, if you know your energy is high and you know, pretty much if you know yourself, you got to walk into that space like, oh, if the space ain't anything that I don't agree with, you got to like, okay, God, this is what you gave me. This is how I'm going to move. This is my energy, right? So I'm going to just be confident in that energy. So the other people around could feel the vibe, right? You know what I'm saying? I can't walk into a space like up and down in myself. If I know I'm coming to work, I got to know exactly why I'm trying to execute. I got to know exactly what the product is. And I know if my energy off, everybody else's energy, I can't expect everybody else's energy to be great if my energy is off. So it start with you. You know what I'm saying? You walk into a room knowing yourself, the room will respond to a person that's authentic.
Is there and I'm jumping off like, sorry, this is how two flew west go. Like conversation happens and we piggyback off of it. But is there any like setup or like thing that could happen that would make you deal with one of these things that you're talking about you don't want to deal with? So like maybe Whitney, for you, it's like, I don't know, the top model or whoever it is like, I want to use you, but they like their vibe is totally off. Or Rick, for you, like whether it's music or modeling, like you got a top person who's like, I want to work with you, but you know that vibe is like all the way gone. Like, what do you do in that moment?
I mean, a top person, they're only a top person in their own headspace. To me, everyone's equal. I could work with like normal people, the average person who's not they don't classify themselves as a model. They've never really modeled before. This is their first time doing it. Or I could work with like a model who's done this, like this is her 5th year in her career or something like that. Like she's been on Vogue 100 times. Like if your vibe is off, like you're still a person, you're still accountable. I'm going to hold you accountable because I'm going to speak on that experience. And I know they say like all press is good press, but it's like, if the vibe wasn't there, it could be Beyonce. I will call you out. Like you're not special to me at all. In those regards, so you're not.
The beehive about to be flying around. Look.
Yeah, and it's like I will happily, you know, I will do everything I can to establish a better vibe because, like, you know, like I'm responsible for myself. I don't ever get so worked up in a bad situation with any of my clients to the point where like it becomes like me raising my voice or yelling or like I just leave. Like I respectfully call things out. Like usually I'm pretty good at calling things beforehand. I've always canceled shoots way in advance if the vibe was just not there from the jump because I'm tired of getting into situations where it was like this was a waste of my time. Like I'm the one getting paid, yet somehow I want my money back. Like that's such a weird, like, I feel like I was like, I want my money and my time back. Like, what the heck? So I feel that out in advance. And if it's not for me, I just move on. So I don't care. Like if someone reached out, like it could be, what's a top model? Like it could be, I don't know, like I'll just name like a celebrity. It could be Oprah, rich as hell, wonderful persona on TV. But if she's a diva, like with all due respect, ma'am, I politely decline this opportunity and I suggest you find another photographer. That's my nicest way of saying, go fuck yourself, Oprah. Like, which I had to do that last week.
She name dropping. She name dropping.
You had to tell
Oprah, but
go home, bro.
Oprah twice last weekend that you couldn't do it?
Yes. What? Yes, he was so terrible. It's like, no, like I had to do that scenario twice last week of just like respectfully declining the job. Well, even in the pandemic, I'm like, I'm not that desperate. I respect myself too much to put myself in a scenario where I may feel like I'm gonna get to that point of cursing or raising my voice. I can already see that coming. So I'm like, let me just cancel that. Like what the universe is telling me something clearly. Let me just listen and back up, and a better opportunity will come along, and it always does. So I just move accordingly.
Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. So since we have kind of people who have a pretty solid understanding of both aspects of it, right? One's a model, one's a photographer. Let's throw this into the pot too. Again, this is what we do on Two Flew West. Are there any stereotypes that may be unfair for a photographer or for a model within the industry of y'all working with each other? Let's throw that out there. Let's talk about it.
I would want to hear from the model first on this one.
I'm gonna just speak from like a Black male perspective, right? One, I'm not trying to be that guy that take his shirt off every time I'm shooting. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not trying to shoot in nobody draws. You feel me? Like I'm good. Just because a woman walked past me, that don't mean I'm about to look at her and be like, "Hey, what's up, shorty? Like, I see you child like naked in this show. What you gonna do after the shoot?" You know, I'm like, not every guy is like that. There is that is the most common stereotype about models, but I'm a Black man, so I can't speak about anybody else, right? So I don't feel like taking my shirt off and being in drawers. You know what I'm saying? I'm too old. I'm a grown man. You know, and I'm not about to, I don't want to willingly objectify myself like that, right? Like, don't assume that I move that way. You know what I'm saying? Communicate with me first, right? I'm not that guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's my big stereotype, right? They say you look a certain way, we gonna make you do this. Nah, Slim, you got the wrong one, bro. I'm not with none of that. You ain't about to get my booty in nobody pictures. You feel me? I'm not that guy. Leave. Like, I'm good.
You put all of this, just a compacted version. Specifically, you're not gonna put my booty in no one's pic. Put that in your Instagram bio. Let them know up front.
Yeah, you know, I'm not with it. Like.
Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna put my booty won't be in anyone's photo.
How about you? What you got any stereotypes?
For photographers, I think so. I didn't really know too many like stereotypes going in, but a lot of I get a lot of reviews on the spot. Like once the session is over, a lot of people they tend to like recap of how their experience was, because I never had to hire a photographer because I'm just like. I just never had an event or anything like where I needed one, because I'm used to being the photographer. So I do know like some stereotypes of like how white male photographers can be, but it's more so things that like kind of go around them just being snobbish about like equipment and stuff like that, or like traveling. Like they're just very privileged people. But as a photography, like as a whole, like in the entire like spectrum of photography, I've learned that apparently photographers are not very warm, fun personalities. Because I've worked with people who are like, oh yeah, you're like the most fun photographer I've worked with. Because most people, they're like, you know, they're all business. They don't care about your budget. They're like, I'm very conscious of like, especially in a pandemic, I'm very conscious of people's budgets. I work with like, I have my set prices, yes, but I also work with people like, if they give me, you know, like strong enough background as to like why they want to work with me but can't afford it. Like I work with them and make it so that they can. And by like for example, like I'll set up a payment plan. Like I never did that before until I got this one client who was just like, it's my wedding, but I'm already going into like debt with this and that. Like I lost my job, but we still want to go through the wedding, this and that. I'm just like, you know what? Let me help you out. We're going to work up a very it'll be structured so that way I don't have to compromise on my practice. I can still value myself as an artist, but you don't have to sweat over this, like, or for people like kids and stuff, it's like, apparently photographers are not known to be very like personable and empathetic to people's situations. They just want the money. That's the last part that I handle actually. Like a lot of the times people are like, oh, when should I submit the deposit and stuff? And I'm like, don't worry about that. Like we'll handle the money part after. This is about building, and I let them know, I'm like, this is about building a positive experience for you first. Like it's an experience first, business second. For you, in my mind, of course, is all business, but I'm like, that's actually how I get repeat customers, because it's like they don't feel dehumanized. They feel, and I do this specifically because I work with mostly people of color, like mostly Black people and Indian people, like from all over India. So I just know, like from growing up in those communities, like you can't treat them the way you treat white people. Like white people are very cold. Like they set the original standard, so it's on me to break that and reshape what that new standard is. So it's like, for me, I was just learning that apparently photographers are just very they're very creepy. I've seen, so like there's some places that I'll go, like I went over the summer, like in Annapolis, Maryland, stuff like that, like parks where I would go on picnics. And I always would go there because it's like, oh, these are my favorite photo locations, but I just want to enjoy the park for once. But I would see other people doing their shoots. And I always felt like, oh, I feel like that employee that's like, it's my day off, so I don't have to clock in. So I'm just watching everyone else work and I'm just being lazy. Where I'm like, oh, I could totally help you get that shot, but I'm just, look at these flowers, I'm enjoying and ignoring you. But I would see so many photographers that would just they direct. They're like, okay, this is a shot that we want. We're going for happy. Give me happy. And it's like, they don't look happy. Like you need to be more like, did you have a conversation with them to get to know them? Like, especially with couples, like I think it's creepy for engagement photographers to demand very specific things from their clients, and it's like they may not physically be able to do these things, or it's like I heard one.
Put your hand on the back of the neck. Hold your hand. No, it's about a minute.
I heard this one. Every single spot they would go, he was just very loud. I couldn't see him for this whole session, but I heard most of the session. So he'd be like, "Okay, kiss," and I'm like, "That's not."
He said, "I need a shot." Look at her. Look at her eyes like you want to. Look at her.
Glare. Like he was just very aggressive with it. So like, I think people should hire less photographers that are white. Honestly, less white guy photographers. I've been told. Apparently, I feel bad because I think a lot of male photographers do get a bad reputation. I don't think female photographers really have any stereotypes to break, other than like we only do maternity and newborn. Like I photograph everything across the board. Like just because people ask me to. Like I started off with portraiture and people like, can you use your eye for this instead? So I just photograph everything now, which is great for business because if one part's down, the other part's up, like it's cool. But I feel like white male photographers, like they just set the standard for the industry of being a very cold, like money driven, greedy industry. And I think that's what I feel like that's what breaks the model photographer boundary too a little bit, of when I can be personable, the model feels more comfortable. Because I would never ask, especially male, female, whatever you identify as, like I would never ask someone to like, okay, I hired you for this, and not communicate before and like, hey, we're shooting nudes today. Like your ass is gonna be in this photo. Like I would never ask someone to do something that either I wouldn't do or that's outside of their comfort zone. Because I don't want to find out day of that this is out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Because I'm going to find a way to flip this so that it is within your comfort zone, but that may not be what like the client that we're both working for, that may not be what they want. And then they're disappointed. It was like, well, we wanted an ass shot. And it's like, well, that's too bad. That's weird. Then why did you want it? Like, I have questions. I need answers. It's weird.
Well, I love to hear that both of you are like kind of breaking stereotypes, breaking rules, doing it like your own way.
Do you do that? Like, or do you guys have any with like, I guess with music, is there something like that you would want to share? Or?
Around
what's your nightmare story? That's what I want to hear.
You want to hear what story?
Your nightmare story. We have to talk about like if we had like a nightmare.
Music? Oh my God, that's a whole nother podcast. But hold up.
Yeah, no idea.
We about to switch to music anyway because I want to make sure like we talk on Rick's other side of other side of the pillow, I guess.
Yeah.
Where that even came from. I just made that up right now. We'll go with it.
I was just letting you go with it.
I mean, but the transition kind of that we had, or the segue that we had around it was, we've been talking about like visuals now with, you know, photography, modeling. Like, how important now, and Rick, I'll start with you on this one. Like, do you think visuals are, when it comes to like the music industry as a whole, or like music as a whole? Yeah, what's your thoughts on that?
About you said how important visuals are right
now? Are they still as
Probably.
important as they used to be? And when I'm talking visuals, I'm talking, you know, pictures, I'm talking videos. Do you think it's still as important as it used to be, or not as much?
I think if anything, like because of like people being stuck in the house, it's like more important, you know, like quality visuals, quality content, pictures, videos, just one, communicating with your fans, right? I think it's overly important now, right? Well, not overly important, because that, I guess that doesn't sound good, but it's more important. I'm gonna just stick with more important, right? Because one, people are looking to be entertained right now more than ever, right? It's a lot of people in the house that are stuck in the house, you know, that have no outlet, right? Maybe somebody doesn't have the Netflix, maybe somebody doesn't have the Hulu or whatever streaming service, right? Hey, look, if people getting laid off, so it's like, you know, it's a lot of stuff that people usually have, but because of like jobs and stuff, the luxuries that we used to have are not even around anymore. So if they tap my Instagram and they see a picture and a quote or me just saying something positive, right? If they see that, that could be enough for them, right? And it's important if, you know, your visuals and your content is, you know, something that people go to consistently. I feel like it's important to have a positive message, right? Because right now, a negative mindset, a negative, like it's a bunch of negative right now in the world. So by anything that we could do as far as like visuals that are positive, that's going to have a great effect on somebody, right?
Understand? That's cool. I understand that.
You know, and I guess I think about it like, because I agree, I think visuals are still important, but I also look at it as I feel like people put less, I don't know, time, effort, research into it because visuals are so easy to get to. Yeah. Like what I mean by like, you know, everybody is a photographer in their head, or like, you know what I mean? And pick up a camera, a phone. And I'm not taking away from having a phone, because I've seen dope like product come from an iPhone or like a Android phone, whatever phone you got. Like I've seen dope product. Sorry about your luck, but it's okay. Dope product come from like the equipment doesn't have to be super expensive, right? Mm-hmm. Right? But I do think people have gotten to this place where now it's just like I can create anything and put it up, right? To where you think about it, at one point people was paying millions of dollars for videos and like all kinds of money to get a quality product. So it's weird because I think maybe the creative is open a little more, but I don't know if people put as much emphasis on the quality of what they're putting out. It's kind of like, as long as I'm in your face, that's enough. Right. You know what I mean? So it's one of those questions that's a little like tricky to me.
I mean, I think also the quality over the quantity thing is real. But then it's like consistency is key too. You know, like if you know somebody has a regular phone, right, or a phone period, and that's all they have access to, but they're consistent, they might get a pass, right? They're gonna get a pass in my book, because I'm like, man, it take a lot to do what you do if you just consistent for however many whatever, right? But if they just dropping stuff just to be like, yeah, man, look at my chain, dog. You know what I'm saying? I got this bread on me, you feel what I'm saying? Just post it up, look at the ambiance behind me, slim is real hard, man. You know I'm in paradise. You know, like, just, what are you doing, man? And if that's trash, right? I got the grill right on time. Yes, sir. Give me one. Got the yes, sir. Look, I'm a nigga up here with the fresh presidential on. You feel what I'm saying? Like that. But that's how it be though. Like that's all you be saying now. A bunch of flex. what's purpose look like, you know?
This the public defender. This ain't the presidential. This the public defender.
Whatever it is, it's catching the light and it's blinding.
Apple Watch.
So.
Slow down, slow down. Public defender.
I just couldn't see my heart monitor.
Can't see.
I just got a regular. What time I'm supposed to wake up today?
I don't wear a watch. Oh, I feel left out.
I mean, I'm in the
I mean,
you travel more than me, so you get a pass.
yeah, you on travel time. That's why you need.
Oh no, my phone is still set to multiple time zones just in case I have to message people from different time zones. Like, oh, at least I got friends in different abroad. I'm living through them for now.
That right there, I love it.
Let me throw a like a little curve question here real quick. Whitney, this for you.
Okay.
How do you feel about the gap between photographers and like cell phone photographers? Because that's a whole niche in genre itself.
I don't feel anything like personally, I don't feel anything towards it because I believe that, it's all about your eye and training your eye. And it doesn't really matter. Like, I can't really call myself a true photographer if I can't pick up a phone. Like, I don't deserve to pick up my $5,000 camera if I can't photograph with a phone or disposable camera and make it work. It's really about your creativity and your eye. Because I've taken pictures on my phone that I'm like, I actually like this one better than the one I struggled to get on my actual camera. Like, it just depends on, and it happens a lot sometimes where I'm just like, because phones are really sophisticated now, but like I have, I wish I did this in my room because I could just be like a nerd and be like, look at all my old cameras. I have a Polaroid, look at this one. But I have like a lot of different cameras. Like whenever I go to thrift stores, I'll collect like old ones. Even if they're broken, I'll just collect like an old camera because it was like $2 and just see like, can I do anything with this? Like I feel like a lot of photographers too, I'm going to be getting back into like film photography soon because that's what I started with in high school. Like everyone takes a photo class and it's not digital. It's like they teach you how to like develop the film. You really learn your camera when it's like you have no control. Like when you can't see the shot until after you've done it and it takes so much time to like see the finished result. You really learn your camera and your exposures and things like that. So I'm just going to be going back to that soon because I'll have the downtime too. And like sometimes, because like I feel like I'm like I need to go back to the basics a little bit just to make sure that I'm like keeping myself at the top of my own game, because I feel like upgrading your equipment doesn't do that, because the equipment just does the work for you. That's pretty much the only purpose of upgrading your equipment. It just does the work for you. But like for example, like a really good camera, like I have a Canon 5D Mark IV, and there's another. I that was my birthday gift to myself. I saved up for like 4 years to get that thing. It's always been like really expensive. Like the price just did not really go down on it ever. So I had to save it for a while to get it. But I built most of my business on my old camera because I had to learn. I was like, okay, this one isn't top of the line quality, but I'm going to make it look like it is. And if someone's asking me like, oh, did you shoot this with like a Hasselblad or a Leica, which are like really good cameras? I'm like, damn, I did that shit. Like I did a good job. If someone's mistaking the quality for something considered better quality, then I did a really good job. But
I mean, a lot of times those like you said, the higher priced ones are.
It's just
what people can do with quality and making it easy.
Because it's like, you could be a good photographer with I have disposable cameras that I love to shoot with all the time. Like I have my old cell phones, like I'm talking like a flip phone, like not a Sidekick, but it was like basically the Sidekick. I'm talking that. Yeah, like the ones that don't die because it's basically a Nokia. So I had those. Like I'll pick up an old camera anytime. I'm like, it's really just about how you get creative, because photography literally it just translates to like the study of light. It's all in how you manipulate your light. It has nothing to do with like, is this camera sensor like, well, let me not get too technical, but it has nothing to do with the camera itself at all. It's literally all about you, your eye, your creativity in the moment at that. Because you can plan all you want, you could plan shot. Weather happens, it ruins it, but it's like use it to your advantage. Like it's really just, if you're in a negative mindset about a lot, like how you said, there's a lot of negative right now. If you're in a negative mindset constantly, because it's okay, you need a balance. It's okay to have a little bit of negativity, but balance it with positivity and flip it all so it's like neutral. If you can kind of flip any negative situation into a positive, you get amazing results. Like if you weren't expecting rain, photograph the rain. It's beautiful. Like you discover something new about your camera that way. Like you just, everything should be a learning experience, I feel. Because I don't really feel like, I think Devin was right though, where he said like, basically it's just more accessible to like just be out there, and it's just kind of like people just kind of do whatever and it feels like it's enough. But if you're like just putting your face out there constantly, especially if it's like the I'm in paradise stuff, like there is too much of a flex. Like people just, they've shifted what it means to flex, you know? Because I don't know, like you notice how like on people's Instagrams now it's like all about like that caught off guard quality, like oh, I wasn't expecting to take this photo. Whole time you click on their picture, their outfit styling says like they're wearing like Gucci or something, and it's like you're telling you
that don't be the best.
Gucci, really, really,
when they be in the bed like they sleep. When they be in the bed like they sleep, like oh, babe,
yes.
like you know, good way your arm is like.
Like I saw that yesterday. Which one did I see on? Because everything on Instagram, we all know it's like it's very like planned content. It was from like the Shade Room, some IG model, Lord knows whatever, like black girl with a surgical body. She had on a waist trainer. But it was so very obvious. It's like your waist is tiny because the doctor made it that way.
Yeah.
So because it's like some people have an hourglass figure naturally, but it's very clear to me that you have been pumped up with a lot of fat in some places and you removed it from others. So what she was trying to promote was like working out with the waist trainer, which I would never recommend. I feel like that's really dangerous for you. She was over there trying to do like toe touches and like she couldn't even get the jump rope open and stuff. Like she was just like doing a whole fake workout for a 30-second, what are they called? The reel.
Real.
Yeah, for a real, or for a real fake, and for a fake, and people were buying into it. I was just like, it's serving unintentional. It's serving like low quality for me. Like I don't like this. Take it back to the kitchen and cook something better up. Like, but it got like, I think because you know people were on Instagram for likes. It got like over 80,000 likes in like a certain amount of hours, and I was just like. Black people have enough health issues to worry about, and Black women specifically have enough aesthetic standards alone, like let alone our attitudes. So we have enough standards to live up to. Can we start promoting healthier ways to look cute? Like, can we start normalizing better body shapes? Like, you know, we come in all shapes and sizes and colors and textures, right? Like, can we all just move past this at all? Can you please go like promote your low self-esteem elsewhere? Because this is not cute for me at all. Like I don't know, the photography is too accessible for people when it comes to that. When it comes to fakeness, it's too accessible for them.
Yeah,
it's a whole culture now.
It's
but I think in this
for the spotlight, you two.
What happened?
I said rock, paper, scissors for the spotlight. You both been cutting each other off.
No, it's all good. It's what we do. It's all good. We good with it. No, I was going to toss the question to us, like as musicians, like kind of the same photography question, like Rick, like as somebody who's worked like you know on rap, on music for a while, like how do you feel about people who are kind of microwave musicians and you know are just like, oh, I'm here today and I got these beats and I got this and I got that. And it's like, a microwave musician is the same as a microwave photographer, like
an Easy Mac or a
it's a lot of them. It's a vibe.
You already know that Easy Mac ain't the real mac and cheese. It just is what it is. But what do you think about
that? My motto right now, and it's like super cliche, like it's like every hood rapper saying this. It's like get it out the mud. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's like if I was allowed to add another scripture to the Bible, which I'm not allowed to do because the Bible said don't do that. But you know, if I was allowed to, I would add get it out the mud. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we literally was created out of mud, right? We was out of the dirt, right? But I think it's a lot of people that that have a fear of work, like a work ethic, right? And people have a lot of insecurities that they're trying to like hide by getting overnight, or they see somebody doing it, so it's like now it's their desire, right? Where all along actuality is that person that you see with this microwave music ain't nothing but a robot. you know? Like, it's just, oh, okay, well, we can get this person to do the dance and, you know, jump around with the chains and the little in the middle of the name with the colors, and, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can get this person to do that and give them a lot of money, right? But they actually are making probably the same amount of money as if a 9 to 5, right? Or maybe less. Like, that's what people don't understand. Like, these people that you see that popped up overnight, not everybody is like that. There are some legitimate people that came out of nowhere, but it's still not really out of nowhere. It's like, it's really just perception if you really think about it, right? Those people that actually have talent, and you could tell when talent is authentic and real because you can hear it in their music. You can see it in their craft. But it's like, those people were working. Like D-Smoke, he ain't just pop up out of nowhere. You just came into the knowledge of D-Smoke, right? D-Smoke been teaching. He speak multiple language way before, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of rappers was trying to rap in Spanish. Like, he already was doing that. And that's culture. That's his culture. But now, because it's brought into the, you know, the light and the forefront, everybody like, dang, he got it out of nowhere, man. No. There are majority of those people that get it out of nowhere are like guinea pigs that are strategically placed by higher ups, right? Yeah. So
you get one song, they get one song, and it's like, cool, let's give you a little bit of money so you look like you're doing something. Oh, you spent all that, so sorry, and then you're gone. And then you're not there no more, and then they move on to the next one. And you know, to me it's irritating because I really think when people spend more time and like effort in the craft, you get better product. You know what I mean? Whether that's being a photographer, like Whitney, like you said, learning different like modes and ways to do photography, or with music, like really taking the time to think about your craft and whether I like your music or not. That's not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, have you put time into it? Like, have you really thought about what you're doing, or are you just like, well, you know, this is what's hot now, so I'm gonna do that, and you can tell, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's irritating as someone who's like a musician who learned how to read music, who, you know, took time to learn music and really enjoy the craft of it. You know, at the end of the day,
even to your audience, it's insulting to the consumer of music. It's insulting.
Yeah.
It's the same people who do that. Like, they're the same ones that like all like where they give them a little bit of money and they always make a video of themselves in a house that has no furniture in it. Like, I wonder why.
it's
Give me them hardwood floors, but I'm like, where the fuck do you sit down?
Yeah.
But look, I stand up all day. My calf's strong. I stand up.
I'm gonna sit on all this money that I got. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sit on this money.
Yeah, that printed money is illegal, right? With your rhinestone grill, probably gonna turn your mouth green.
Oh,
you know, they be having fake money in them videos too, man.
Sure.
They
know how to make fake money look really real, but it's still really
real, right?
Because they're not going to show that cut long enough. Like, really, like, I think music videos, it's really come down to like, especially for rap, it's just come down to like go and just like, you're about to fall over. Like, I call it stumble rap because I know there's mumble rap, there's stumble rap.
I'm gonna tell you like this: it's people out there doing work. Like Toby, I don't know I can't say his last name. That.
Yeah.
But Toby's visuals, his visuals are amazing. Like, you can tell that's what I'm talking about, effort and craft.
Right.
Like, you see the effort, and I didn't know who he was. Like, and I got him to him, I forgot how, through another artist. Somebody said it or had him as a feature, and then I went to check him out, and like all of his stuff, like you see the passion, the care, the craft, like the time that he puts into the videos and doesn't care about like what's hot right now.
But
this is what I'm doing. He got his wife and kids in the video, and like, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing, like dancing in the video, got choreography, and like, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's an artist. What's his name? Blacks. I talked about him a couple times now.
Blast.
Is it Blast? Blacks? Whatever he call himself.
Blast. Yeah, the singer from Cali. Yeah, he's dope.
Watch his videos, like effort, like it's a concept to the video, to his videos. He making like a mini movie to it, but it's music dope. Like, you can hear, okay, you put time into this. And it's not like he's the best singer in the world, because he's not like, just gonna go out here and kill it off vocals, but he got a lane. You can tell he worked on it. You can tell he put time into it. And that's what I respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, put time into your craft if you're gonna do it. And that's my thing.
I think a lot of it is eye too. I mean, you have to have almost a photographer's eye, creative's eye, in order to really kind of make that, perpetuate that. You know what I mean? Like, somebody, like Michael Jackson really is the person that I think most of us can agree that he didn't start it, but as far back as you can remember, Michael Jackson was the one who was putting the visuals out, and it was like, yo, it's crazy, like he's crazy. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. When you have these artists, they get the basic fundamental of advertising. It's like you have to be able to see it, right? And it's got to be dope when you see it. You can't ever mess it up. It can't be a hair out of place. When you see it, it's got to be dope. And you when people have those visuals, high quality visuals, as I think the question was, that's what, like, when you ever seen like a Burger King commercial and the burger was like lazy looking.
Yeah, they be hyping them Jones up. They don't even look like that in real life.
They can't tell the real thing. Food photography don't ever look at what goes into food photography. You will not eat the food at all. The finished product looks cool, but don't check out the behind the scenes. It's nasty.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. But when you look at it, you be like, damn, you know what? I'm gonna run right by there, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead. It just does. So when you see it and it's done and it's believable, it's tangible to you. If you singing or whatever,
it's psychology for sure.
Exactly. Just like, learning how to read audibly in the verse, learning how to read and see the letters and how they fit together, two totally different things.
Yeah.
So that's just my take on it. I think it's just, again, it boils back to, I have to visualize it first.
I had that conversation just yesterday. I think it was yesterday or like the day before with a friend, because you were in the car talking about like the difference between because you were just kind of discussing like musicians, and kind of a very similar conversation, but because I think we were talking about that song. What were we talking about? I can't remember what song it was, because it was something we were talking about on I think it came on like the radio or something. But basically we were saying that if you don't have like the full package of just like, you don't have to know exactly what your vision is up front, but if you can't innovate the industry, if you can't figure out like how to flip, like, say someone's hiring me for this, if I'm only taking that one job and not trying to figure out how to flip it into like 2 more jobs of some sort and gain more clientele from it, then you're just getting a paycheck. You're literally just collecting a paycheck up front. Mm-hmm. You need to be collecting a salary of some sort, like a salary, not like an actual salary, but basically we were saying that like having that full package literally makes or breaks the difference between an artist and a legacy. Like, or I'm sorry, like entertainer and a legacy. Because it's like, are you just an entertainer because they hired you because people like that you flail your arms around or you shake your ass or you do whatever? Like your visuals are like entertaining, but are they lasting? Like all these artists, like they'll create their quirky music video and it's like, they're not going to touch Missy Elliott's because she's literally a legend because of her visuals. Like she takes the same concept and she takes it 14 steps further to the point where it's like, you can't keep up with her videos. Like you can watch them even today and you're like, there's so much detail in here I didn't notice, like it's a whole thing, versus they'll take like a skit of some sort. Oh, was that a dog or a cat?
Yeah, my dog, my
husky. Put him on screen or her on screen. Put him on screen now.
She all moving all over the place. I ain't gonna catch her.
Oh, the dog. Okay, I'm out. I want to.
I got a husky too. I just got one.
Oh,
Where dogs? Put them on screen. Let them sit. I don't care. Let them sit in your chairs and then you talk.
See, the thing about a husky is it thinks it's a lap dog,
and it's not.
It's not.
So and they shed.
They're cute, yeah.
They're so cute. Do you have a husky too?
Me?
Yeah, someone said they have husky.
Oh no, Baker.
Nick said he got husky. Yeah.
Okay. Hi. What's his name? The stare though.
His name is Raider. His name is Raider.
Oh.
Yeah, he did get on the camera like what?
He's like, are you traumatized? You get it? He's like, all I know this was a group chat. My bad.
He got on there like bright eyed. How y'all doing?
Right.
He said, "Look at my grill. Look at my grill."
Oh, that's a whole under industry right there. I think you just created something. Grills for your dogs.
There it
I
is.
haven't seen a rapper do it yet.
Changing the
Whitney
game.
would do it.
Exactly.
Hey, you know,
Are you entertainment or are you like?
Peter, there, rip that up.
Not if I make it out of like. No, I can't think of a dog friendly thing that's shiny. Screw Peter, they're fake anyway.
Yeah, oh, no.
So
all comments made on this show are those of the no. I'm just
Oh, he said, let me put a little disclaimer out there.
They do not reflect the views of the.
All right, so we're coming close to the end. I mean, we had a COVID question, but y'all talked about COVID already, kind of, sort of. So I'd rather just give y'all like these last few minutes to talk about projects, things you got going on, tell people where they can find you, you know. Go ahead and get your promos on. So, Whitney, we'll go with you first.
Why me?
Ladies first, man. Hey, man, you know.
Oh, okay. I'm terrible at that's exactly. I'm terrible at promoting myself.
You gotta work on that elevator pitch.
There it is, elevator pitch.
Like we learned that like first day at art school and stuff like that. We learned elevator pitch, and I was just like, yeah, I don't do that. I'm sorry. I think.
All right, give me the stairway pitch. Escalator pitch, whatever you want to call
stairway
it.
pitch is stranger danger. I'm gonna call the cops on you. Why is you talking to me? Social distance. Keep it 6 feet.
All right, give me your social distance.
But yeah. So if you're looking for my art, you can find my portfolio on ojaart.com. It's spelled ODJA art.com. And then my Instagram is _Oja. It's ODJA. And Oja is Criollo for C. Half of my website is, most of it's in English, but some of the categories are in Criollo to pay homage to my Cape Verdean roots. And as I continue to learn Criollo. So as I learn more, unfortunately, it's going to be out of English for a little bit because I want to create a safe space for other Cape Verdean artists to collaborate and grow that with that community specifically too. And then for COVID, any big projects I have coming up, I've been doing a lot. So I work with a lot of product photography clients right now. Like I feel like everyone started a business during COVID. I started my business back when I was working, but like I filed the actual LLC months later because I was just like, let me just give it like the gig economy try first. But then like I quit my job maybe like 6 months beforehand. And I was just like, no, I want to do this full time. So bigger projects I have going on is like I've been featured in BuzzFeed. I'm about to be featured in Washingtonian Magazine. And I've just laid out a whole mapping work of like 3 new projects that I'm going to try to tackle between like, I guess like goals that I want to accomplish between now and May to like step up my, my visuals as well as like my diversity in what I offer to clients. Because I don't want to just offer just photography or just visuals. I want to be able to offer interactive experiences. For those who can't book because you're not in the DMV, I do have a print shop. If you go on my website, you can feature my beautiful art from all my lovely travels in your home. Please do not order a canvas print or request one because it's tacky and I hate those. For any live, laugh, love people out there. So don't do that.
All right.
Hey, don't do that.
And that's that.
Right.
In case you was thinking about it.
Yeah, I ain't about to do
Don't
that.
do it.
That part.
Rick, what you got?
Man, listen, guys, I'm just a regular guy, right? I'm just a regular guy that just happens to do music. So, if you want to hear any of my music, you can go on any platform and type in Rick DBNR. DBNR is short for debonair. That is my social media as well. Currently, I'm working on trying to drop a song every month, right? Because speaking about that consistency piece, practice what you preach, right? You can't be saying, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? And you're not about it, right? So also what I'm trying to do currently, what I'm already doing, didn't do it today because I hopped on this interview, but I'm doing Soul Food Sundays. Basically a Soul Food Sunday is, I'm trying to interact with my fans, with my followers, with my folks, my family. Send me a song, a sample, anything you want me to chop up, make a beat to, and I'm gonna remix the beat and rap to it, right? And I'm gonna put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, put it on YouTube, right? So And as far as like the visuals, man, you know, I'm working with people's timetables and trying to be COVID safe. So I'm like, you might get some Jones shot on my phone. You feel what I'm saying? Which is fine. But, you know, if you got a problem with that, you know, hey, can't help that. You know, I'm trying to be safe and I'm working with people's timetables, right? But yeah, I'm venturing off into some other stuff. I also have an LLC. Favor on Me is my LLC. And, you know, just pretty much everything that you need to know about me is in my bio, right? You click the link in my bio. I got merch. I got music. I dropped a project last January to the 7th, which is like, you know, probably the first project I produced like almost fully by myself. You know, I just started making appreciate you, yeah. I started making beats maybe like a year and a half ago. So it's like up until now, it's like now I'm serious about it. I'm locked in. I got tired of waiting for people. You know what I'm saying? So I got my hands dirty. I'm recording myself, and I'm doing everything myself. You know, the only thing I can't do right now, well, is mixing, right? But you know, it'll get figured out. But
you just gotta get tired of it again, all over again, and learn it.
Hey, you know, but then it's like that artist, that workspace and artistry thing. It's like, hey, you know, it's okay not to do everything. You know, right. I'm cool with not doing everything. You know, I don't want to over exhaust myself by trying to be a perfectionist. When I was just watching church today, shout out my church, the Potter's House in LA, praise God. I was just watching church today. It was talking about being excellent. So the kids being excellent, that don't mean you have to be perfect because we're still human, right? I'm still a human. I'm not finna be out here trying to, yeah, man, I know exactly how to make these stairs load and go up and down. I don't know how to make stairs, right? I don't know how to, that's not me. That's not what I'm supposed to do. You can't be great at everything. You got to be great at what you're able to do, what you're gifted with, right? So yeah, I'm cool with that. But that's all I got, man. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on the grind. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Rick DBNR. Be on the lookout for the music, man. Buy some merch, man, please. Thank you.
What that, man?
Well, you know, definitely appreciate having you both on. Hey, it was a great conversation. Definitely support both of these artists on this call. I mean, the nugget I was left with today is like, are you an entertainer or are you a legacy? Like, that was the nugget that I'm taking. I love it. So, yeah, Donnie, take us out. You forgot.
Yeah, well, I agree with what Baker said, man. You know, both of you guys are like amazing, amazing talents, and we're definitely honored to have you on the show. And you know, Rick, you put your Soulful Sundays on hold for us, brother. We appreciate you for bless us with your presence. You know,
he's a client.
I must get your signature. You know, because people back home ain't gonna believe I know your brother.
You keep doing this, I'm gonna tell him about the movies that you in right now. You know what I'm saying? He on the whole Lifetime celebrity. You know what I'm saying? My name is Donnie GotDaBeats, and I'm an actor now. You know what I'm saying? Try to put me on spot.
Tell him about it. Got that TV show. You want to grill you?
Now, for real life, everybody know, but I got nothing but love and respect for Rick. We appreciate you as well.
Thanks for having me. I would love to come back. This is fun.
Yeah,
we definitely have to do that. You know, 2020, 21's a long year, so I'm pretty sure
we will have you back.
You guys real soon.
Especially if you have like something that you're dropping or like a project or something you really want to like talk about and get out there. Like, one great way to come back on and let's talk about it and talk some more stuff too.
Hell yeah! I'm doing I've been starting to create more safe spaces because I'm like I said, I'm not big on social media, but even tomorrow, like I'm holding a safe space for Black women to kind of talk their shit about white women and like the white exhaustion that we've been experiencing on like a mass level. Because like if you hop on IG, like depending on what your feed looks like, of course, like Black women, we had it up to here. I don't know if you can see my hand. It's like it's touching heaven. It's just grazing heaven right now. Like I've had it up there with the caucasity of it all of 2020 and 2021 so far. So like I'm holding a safe space for Black people tomorrow. So I'm probably gonna be having a lot more projects like that coming along.
All right, with the caucasity. All right.
Yes. You never heard that before?
Hey, I'm telling you, I'm taking nuggets today.
It's the only time a white person has ever seasoned a word. You season the word audacity and add a little bit of expired kosher salt to it, and it's caucasity.
Wow.
And then you let it dry out.
Like she be throwing some like direct shots, low key.
Hey. No hold back. That's what it is. It's wrong.
I know. That's probably why Devin reached out to me, because I don't filter. I never have. I never have, and most likely never will.
Hey, that's what Two Fluid is all about. Be yourself, let it fly. That's what we do. But that's also
you guys all on the West Coast.
That's also why we got the disclaimer on there.
Yeah, on both sides. We got it in the beginning and the end, by the way. So just
That way you can be who you are. Let it be. Nah, yeah, we're all on the West Coast though.
Are you all in like? I know Devin, you're in like near Oakland or San Francisco area. Are you guys all in the Bay Area or?
No, I'm in LA.
I'm in Long Beach.
That's so cool. Yeah, I've been trying to think about like moving to Cali eventually, but I'm like,
do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay.
I had no reservations whatsoever. Do it.
You got family out here with.
That's true. I do. I mean, I always knew I had like Devin out there, but like, because for me, it's like, this is a bougie hesitation. I'm like, should I move here or should I move to New Zealand? Like, I just can't decide.
Ooh.
No, you've never been, so don't knock it till you get there. Because California, you get there, you're like, LA,
Hey, I'm not mad at it.
I don't think anybody want to do that.
I don't know.
I feel like New Zealand killed COVID.
Because I'm like, I would want to just jump straight into international. Because after this, I'm like, look, the U.S. is ghetto. I don't think I want to live within the confines of this border too much longer.
The U.S. is
Let me get that dual citizenship. Let me find out I can get dual citizenship somewhere. Next pandemic, and I'm gonna fade into you'll just never see me.
Time out. She called it for a next pandemic. Time out.
People in Dallas and Houston ain't wearing their masks. People in Europe are wearing their masks. They are called it. CNN called it.
Like it's the next episode. Like she said, next pandemic.
Okay, well, on season 2 of coronavirus.
Right. No thanks. You gonna have that.
Yeah.
I won't be here. I'll be international.
Guys, we definitely gotta get out of here. But no, it definitely was fun. It was a pleasure. Definitely going to bring you guys back for sure. Stay tuned for the next episode of Two Flu West. We do this every Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay black. And I'm Donnie B. GotDaBeats. It's Nicholas Baker, and we Two Flu West, and we all out.
Hey, my name's Rick. Thanks.
And I'm Whitney. I'm the most important. Have a blessed night. Have a blessed evening to all.
I'm gonna head out, man. Y'all be safe. Eat some chicken grease.
Y'all be easy.